Man found shot to death in Laurel County home. Published by Fox 56. Lexington, Kentucky. Fox 56, WKYT. A murder investigation is underway in Laurel County. The sheriff's office says 62-year-old Bryan McCarty was found dead at a home on Maple Grove Road Saturday morning after a deputy was sent to do a welfare check when a business associate noticed McCarty missed a business meeting. An autopsy determined McCarty had been shot multiple times. An investigation is currently underway by the sheriff's office.
Supposed to be selling part of his business. Instead, detectives in southern Kentucky say he was being shot to death in his home. That's the bizarre crime that played out in Laurel County. Bryan McCarty was murdered, and now the sheriff's office is searching for the killer. WIMT's Phil Pendleton spoke to McCarty's longtime friend about the loss.
Friday, friends say Bryan McCarty was looking forward to selling a business in efforts to help him settle down.
Yeah, he was ready to, enjoy life now that he's, now that he was ready to do it, and somebody took it away from him.
Now detectives with the sheriff's office have a murder to solve. They say the 62-year-old man was shot to death inside his home at about the same time that he was supposed to be selling off a rental business.
The people that rented from him couldn't say enough about him either. I mean, he would always take care of him. His refrigerator go down one night, and he was there the next day with a new refrigerator for him.
When McCarty didn't show up for the meeting, deputies did a welfare check where they found his body Saturday. They say that he had been shot multiple times.
I mean, he was good to everybody. He treated everybody fair. I mean, there was nothing bad you could say about him. He helped everybody in every way he could.
Deputies say the crime is a solvable one.
Yes, most definitely. Like I say, we've had numerous leads that have come in as a result of our investigation, and we're continuing to work on those every minute of the day.
In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
We are set for 11 Saturday morning at...
On day Laurel County man was to sell his business. Police say someone murdered him inside his home. More at 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. at Weekend at Wimt. McCarty's obituary at the Bowling Funeral Home described Strelski as his soulmate, naming her among other loved ones. Bryan Stewart McCarty was born on January 30, 1959, in Cincinnati, Ohio, the son of the late J.T. and Sylvia Napier McCarty. He has survived his soulmate, Victoria Strelski, of London, his daughter, Morgan Shepherd, and husband, Lucas, of London, and multiple search warrants Thursday evening. The well-known businessman and farmer was found shot to death in his home last week. Deputies searched two of McCarty's properties off Maple Grove Road, approximately 5 miles west of London, and seized evidence with significant information. There is still a $14,000 reward being offered for the arrest and conviction of the individual or individuals involved.
Described as his soulmate, that's who she was described as, and now a Laurel County woman is accused of killing her boyfriend.
Yesterday, deputies arrested 49-year-old Victoria Strelski for the shooting death of Bryan McCarty. Tomorrow, she'll face a judge for the first time. Today, we've learned some new details about her arrest. WKYT Shelby Lofton joins us now with that new information. Shelby?
Amber and Bill, today we got our hands on those court documents detailing what led up to this arrest. First, let me take you back to last fall when this investigation first started. Well-known businessman Bryan McCarty was found dead in his home on September 25th. Google searches from the day before tell us more about the woman arrested for his murder.
Well, for one thing, we solve our homicides in rural Kentucky.
A 6-month investigation comes to a close. Yesterday, Laurel County Sheriff's deputies charged 49-year-old Victoria Strelski with murder.
This was a whodunit, and of course we had suspicions from the start.
According to the arrest warrant, records show Strelski's phone was at the scene of the crime, McCarty's house, on the day he was killed. Investigators say on that same day, Strelski Google searched how long to die with multiple gunshot wounds to chest. Will a .22 penetrate the heart and ribcage, as well as body temperature after death chart. They determined McCarty's death was caused by 3 .22 caliber gunshot wounds. Deputy Gilbert Achardo says the victim was well known and well liked.
Everybody knew him in the area. He was known to be a great guy, a very generous guy, and it was a shock to the community whenever he was killed.
He was expected at a business meeting the day investigators say he died. The warrant says Strelski went in his place and wrote a check to close a real estate sale. Deputies say she didn't have permission to do so. We've also learned McCarty's family is suing Strelski over his estate.
A lot of hard work, but in the end, we got closure for the family.
And Strelski told investigators she lived with McCarty, but she says she was staying with her daughter who was sick the night he was killed. According to the warrant, she told police McCarty called her and said he could not make that meeting she went to in his place. Investigators believe he was killed just minutes before the meeting happened. Amber, she will be arraigned in Laurel District Court tomorrow morning.
All right, Shelby Lofton, thank you. Strelski is also charged with first-degree forgery and 2 counts of tampering with fiscal evidence. Her bail is currently set for $500,000.
London. A London woman has been arrested in connection with the September 25, 2021 murder of Laurel County man Bryan McCarty. On Wednesday afternoon, the Laurel County Sheriff's Department reported that they had arrested Victoria Strelski, 49 of London, following an extensive investigation into the murder of McCarty. On September 25, 2021, Deputy Jamie Atherton was dispatched to conduct a welfare check on McCarty, age 62 at the time of his death, following a request by one of McCarty's business associates after noting McCarty had missed a business meeting. After arriving at McCarty's home on Maple Grove Road, Atherton found McCarty's body. A press release from the sheriff's office stated that McCarty had been shot multiple times. During the course of the investigation, the Laurel County Sheriff's Department executed multiple search warrants at 2 residences owned by McCarty in October after information had been developed by investigators. At that time, numerous pieces of evidence were located and seized, according to a press release by the sheriff's office. The Laurel County Sheriff's Department announced a $10,000 reward was being offered for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the suspects involved in the murder of McCarty. By mid-October, that reward had been increased to $25,000. On Thursday, Strelski was arrested and charged with murder, first-degree forgery and tampering with physical evidence. Strelski was lodged in the Laurel County Detention Center, according to the press release. Assisting on the arrest were Major Chuck Johnson. Laurel Sheriff's Detective Taylor McDaniel is the case officer. Laurel County Sheriff John Root said in the press release that his staff has worked relentlessly on this case, following up on every lead, and their efforts were successful with the suspect being charged.
At noon, a Laurel County grand jury indicted the woman charged in the death of a well-known businessman. The grand jury indicted Victoria Strelski with the murder of Bryan McCarty. Deputies say she shot him in the back 3 times. They testified, saying that she also searched Google on how to kill someone and if a .22 caliber rifle could penetrate a rib cage. She had a not guilty plea entered this morning on the charges. A judge raised her bond to $750,000. She is due back in court in July.
Soulmate, charged with murder nearly a year after Kentucky man was found shot to death. Published by Law and Crime. Deputies have arrested a woman for allegedly shooting and killing a well-liked local businessman. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office in Kentucky announced Wednesday that Victoria Strelski, 49, was taken into custody in the murder of Bryan McCarty, 62. A friend of the slain man voiced shock last year when authorities found him dead in his home following a welfare check September 25, 2021, after he did not show up to a meeting. Bill Chasteen described him as almost universally liked. "I don't understand that, the murder, because he was friendly with everyone," he said, according to WKYT. "Well, except for one person that didn't like him. He was ready to enjoy life, then someone took it away from him. Their friends and relatives to mourn his passing." Strelski is now charged with murder, forgery in the first degree, and tampering with evidence. She is locked up at the Laurel County Jail in lieu of a $500,000 cash bond, and she is scheduled for court Friday. Image via Laurel